going? It's the day before the 4th of July, and I'm doing a little prep work for my spread I'm going to be putting out tomorrow. Now, of course, I'll be grilling and some other stuff, but one of the things I wanted to do was to make some macaroni and cheese, and I wanted to try to make it in my air fryer. So we're going to try to do that today and see how it comes out. Now, I've never made mac and cheese from scratch in any form, so this is going to be a totally new experience for me. I got a recipe from a website called A Family Feast, and I'll be referencing them in the description below, as well as when I post this on social media. They asked us to do that if we use the recipe, and so I'm gonna try it. Now, I selected this recipe specifically because of the fact that it does not require you to pre-cook the pasta. I felt that pre-cooking the pasta and a lot of the other steps in the other recipes basically boil down to cooking it on the stove and then using the air fryer to sort of melt the cheese. I didn't feel like that was really cooking it in the air fryer. Well, this recipe actually cooks the whole thing in the air fryer. Now, there are some prerequisite steps. We do have to rinse the pasta for 2 minutes under hot water. I'm not really sure what the reason is for that, but we're going to do that. And then they want us to heat up the liquid portion to melt the butter and cream cheese in the microwave before we mix it together. So that's just to mix it, to melt and mix all of that part. So there's no cooking going on in advance. Now, one of the things I did have to get in order to do this for my air fryer was an accessory called a cake bucket. This is what a cake bucket looks like. Basically, it's just a cylinder about 3.5 inches deep, and this is what we'll actually cook the macaroni and cheese in when it's in the air fryer. So let's go ahead and read off the list of ingredients for this. And it starts out with 1/2 pound of dry, uncooked pasta. We'll be using elbow macaroni, of course. 2 cups of whole milk, 1 cup of chicken stock, 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of cream cheese, an 8-ounce package of sharp cheddar cheese, shredded, 1 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. I've never tried white pepper before, so I had to buy some. 1 teaspoon of dry mustard, a pinch of cayenne pepper, and a few grinds of fresh nutmeg. And I don't really have any fresh nutmeg, so I'm just going to put a little bit of allspice in there. Hopefully that will suit the purposes. Now, as I mentioned before, we mix the milk, the chicken stock, the butter, and the cream cheese together, and then we put that in the microwave to melt, and then we run the macaroni under hot water for 2 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I don't think you need to see any of that. That's easy enough. And when I come back, I'll be ready to mix everything together into the cake bucket, and then we'll just put it in. Now, this has to cook for quite a period of time because it does have to cook the macaroni. So this is going to, I believe, cook at, well, we preheat the air fryer at 400 for 10 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and start that. And then it says to cook it for 45 minutes covered in foil and stuff like that. So we'll get to all of that in a minute. But so we're looking at 45 minutes. Now, of course, because it says because the air fryer power may vary, to check it after 35 minutes. So we're going to basically set it for 45, and we'll come back and check it. But in the meantime, let me go prep the pasta and the liquid portion, and then we'll come back to mix everything. Alright, so I've rinsed the pasta. I have mixed together the milk, chicken broth, butter, and cream cheese. I'm about to put that in the microwave, and I'm preheating the air fryer now. Once that's done, I will go ahead and mix up the ingredients into the cake bucket, and by that time the air fryer should be preheated and we'll be ready to roll. So let's go ahead and melt this butter here. All right, while the liquid is warming up, I'm going to go ahead and mix the mac and cheese together and all the ingredients, and then we'll pour the liquid over on top. I'm concerned about this bowl, I'll be honest. This may not be big enough. We may have to, I don't know, figure something out, but let's give it a shot anyway. Add a little bit of salt. White pepper. I've never seen or used white pepper before. It smells very peppery. 1/4 teaspoon. Okay. 1 teaspoon of dry mustard. Seems like a lot of dried mustard, but I might question. Pinch of cayenne, and basically a few grinds of the nutmeg / allspice. We'll just put a little bit on there. Okay, now that is all the dry ingredients. Now we have to pray that the liquid goes in. So let's do that. And by that I mean pray. Let's go put this in this bowl here. And I was like, how am I supposed to stir that in there? So you don't actually, you just you mix it into a larger bowl and then put it in the cake bucket. So then we need a piece of round parchment circle and then aluminum foil. So let's worry about this first. I really don't think that's going to go in the bucket, but we're going to put as much in there as we can and then cook it. I mean, that's I think that's about as good as we can do right now. So let's go ahead and mix this. Come on, you all fit in there. Well, this may actually fit. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Looking pretty good. Look at that. I'm shocked. Are you shocked? Can't believe that all fit in there. Okay, so I want all the pasta underneath the liquid. Okay, now I need to cut a round piece of parchment paper and also get some aluminum foil to put over this before we put it into the air fryer. And now the foil. And there we have it. All ready to go in. The air fryer is preheated. Let's go ahead and get started. 35 minutes. Let's see what happens. Alright, it's been 35 minutes. We're going to take a look at this. I think we may have had a little overflow. There was a little smokiness in the air in here just now. So it's been 35 minutes, so let's go ahead and take a look, see what we think. Ooh. Can you see that? There is a little bit of overflow, but it didn't overflow into the bottom of the pan, just on top there. And it looks like it's yummy, delicious, and crusty. I don't know about what the macaroni looks like. I need to be careful so I don't burn myself or anything else. So put a towel down. Set this on the towel. It's very, very hot. Let's see if we can figure out how to get a look at this. I don't know if you can see that right there. But it looks kind of amazing. I don't know how to tell if it's done. I'll maybe put a little fork in there and grab some and taste it. See if the mac is done. Let's give this a taste test. The mac is done. I'm gonna have to call this done. Oh my God, it tastes amazing. All right, let's get this out of here and take a good look at it and see what we think. Look at that. All right, take off this foil here. All right, I'm gonna pull this and give it a stir. Okay, so what was burning was a little bit on the sides. Don't know what the bottom's going to be like. Let's go ahead and get this mixed though and see what we think. Yeah, it's a little on the sides. It's getting crispy. But it's stirring nicely and pretty flippin' amazing. What do you think of that? How's that look? Looks great. It tastes great. 35 minutes in my air fryer. What I'm going to do is let this cool now, and then I'm going to cover it. And I'm going to put it back in there tomorrow for about 20 minutes on a really low temperature to reheat it. But I'm pretty happy with it. It's great. There you go. Mac and cheese. Will it air fry? Yes, it will. We'll see you later.